Tyson Fury. So this is the first time I've been able to talk to you since I can say the WBC Ring Magazine undefeated lineal heavyweight champion of the world. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been actually very, very well. I've been training 3 to 4 times every single day. Just trying to keep my mind mentally focused, really, and stimulated and concentrating on positive stuff. I'm doing a live workout every single morning, as we already said before. I've been doing it now since we started the lockdown just after, and I'll continue to do the video until the lockdown stops. I don't care if it takes 6 months. I will do them every morning, 6 days a week. It not only gives me a purpose to get up for, and it gives everybody else who's waiting for these videos and rely on these videos to give them a bit of a workout and a bit of something to do in the day as well. So it works great for all of us.
Yeah, it's like all those rivals you've had throughout your boxing career. Now your biggest rival's Joe Wick.
Joe Wicks, yeah, the old body coach. Big shout out Joe Wicks. Yeah, he's a good lad. Joe's been doing his live workout videos as well. So yeah, between us, we're really helping the public get through the lockdown together and keep fit and healthy.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because I feel like despite the fact that people have I know you can go outside and do your exercise and do your runs or whatever, but these classes like you've been doing, Joe Wicks has been doing, have become so popular. I think because people aren't going out and people aren't going to the pub and people are staying in and doing these exercises, I think people are going to come out of this lockdown almost healthier than they went in.
Yeah, I think they will. Joe's is a lot more professional than mine. He uses a camera and a tripod, and he has a proper room where nobody disturbs him and all that. Mine has just been done on my iPhone 7. That's like way out of date. Looks like I've been filming with a potato. The kids have been running in, the dog, Paris, everybody. Like, it's just been nothing rehearsed. It's just been like freestyle. It's just been like an extended episode of At Home with the Furies, really, for an hour every morning. Yeah, ITV have been absolutely wound up about it because they wanted this action.
That's what they were looking for the whole time.
Yeah. It's been good, I have to take a positive out of every negative, Rob, because you know me with my mental health stuff. And times like this could make people really go down deep into depression and all that sort of stuff. Maybe people are out there suffering for the first time during the lockdown, don't know what it is and don't know what it's like to maintain or manage it. And, I'd just like to say, well, I got the opportunity to, anybody needs help or anything like that, reach out to a doctor, family, friends, anybody. Don't suffer in silence. You're not out there alone. We're all in this together. And there's a lot of help out there for people as well.
Yeah, obviously, we're right at the end of Mental Health Week, which, for all I know, could have been a thing for 20 years. But it's honestly, it's the last, 3 or 4 years that people have been talking about it. And your story's been so massive in how big it's become, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've had a fair influence and a fair proportion of smashing the stigma on mental health, and I believe over the last few years I've done an excellent job, along with many other people as well. They've all done a fabulous job, and eventually we will get it around the world, and it will be okay not to be okay, because like I've always said, if I can be unwell and down and depressed and anxious and scared, then anybody can. I'm 6'9", 20 stone, 2-time undefeated lineal heavyweight champion of the world. So, it's one of those things where everyone can be affected by it. Nobody's out of reach. Winston Churchill, the great leader of this great nation, he suffered with depression. So no one's out of reach from it. And like you say, the last few years, it's really come to light. There's a lot more awareness for mental health now, isn't there? Bigger than it's ever been before, ever. So everyone's been doing a fantastic job.
This has been your first time off, really, since the comeback, hasn't it? And myself and a couple of the lads at BT, we made that documentary that was on a couple of weeks ago about your whole comeback. And I guess, is this kind of the first time you've had to reflect on this whole journey? Because it's always been looking for the next fight and looking at getting the next thing. But now, because it's like we don't know when everything's going back to normal, have you had time to just think about, God, those were some great nights and that was some good journeys and, going through and making it, the whole thing wasn't just ups, there was downs and ups and downs and ups and, you'd be in different places, different times we'd talk to you, in different fights, you'd be in different moods. Have you had time to think about that whole kind of 4-year patch?
Not really, because I've been training harder now than I've probably ever trained. I've took like a lunatic training phase. I've been doing my circuit in the morning with Paris, anywhere between 40 minutes and an hour. And then I've been going for a run straight afterwards, cardio. Then in the afternoon, I've been doing a weight session for about 45 minutes. And then in the evening, again, I've been doing another cardio session. So 4 times a day, 6 days a week, pretty difficult. So I've not had time to reflect much. And I don't like looking back in the past anyway. I like to keep focusing on today and being happy for now. I believe when I start looking at the past and dwelling on the past, I most of the time feel negative from it, even looking back at positive stuff, because I think, oh, well, that's all in the past now. We're never going to relive that again, yada, 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 yada. So rather just concentrate on the now and what's happening today and tomorrow, really.
Because I guess you feeling like this and having all that training 4 times a day, you're going to be like flipping Mr. Universe at the end of this lockdown, aren't you?
Well, we all know that the Gypsy King doesn't never look like Mr. Universe. I'll always have my love handles and my fat stomach, but you know, still undefeated and still batting, still knocking them out, still knocking over the ripped bodies and six packs as always. But you know, I will be fit. I am fit. I'm very, very fit now. I'd love to do a marathon after this lockdown's over, because I've been running every single day. And just before the lockdown started, I did the half marathon dressed as Batman with the boys. So yeah, that was good. So hopefully we get to do a full marathon and raise a bit of money for charity as well. So it kills 2 birds with 1 stone.
Were you a little bit worried, sort of just after winning the title? You have that extreme high, that you were going to get the extreme low afterwards. I think a lot of people mentioned, you know, that was how it started with Klitschko, right? It was the extreme high. I've achieved everything, and then you didn't have something to concentrate on next time. Do you think you learned lessons, and that's why, you know, the training has been so important this time?
No, I was very ill going into the Klitschko, documented. I was very down and depressed going into training camps for Klitschko. But after I made the comeback, after I had the breakdown, I made the comeback and I'd learned from my mistakes how to manage and maintain the mental health. And yeah, ever since I started back in 2017, end of 2017, I've not stopped training. I don't have any time off, even after fights I train. Because I don't train anymore for a boxing contest. I train for my own well-being, mentally and physically, and that's the way I like it. I train up teen times because when you train, the brain releases an endorphin, and it makes you feel good. So I like to release that endorphin all the time, 3-4 times a day, even 7 times
I
a
was going to
day.
say 3 or 4 times a day is rookie numbers, Tyson.
Yeah, I need to get them numbers up. They're my training numbers. But when I'm in proper fight camp, you know it's more than 7 times a day. But yeah, it's been a tough challenge because, like you say, it was such a high, and then come back to like basically the world's ended. Although it hasn't, it does feel like that often to me. It feels like only like 10, 11 weeks ago, I was king of Las Vegas. I was on fire. Fury's on fire. 30,000 fans over in Vegas, and we had the time of our lives and one of the greatest comeback stories in sport. And to come back, and within a week, everything's been locked down for I don't know how long, 3 months or something. So that was pretty difficult. Also, I usually come back to my normal routine, don't I? I top the kids off at school, go gym after the school runs, pick them up, do the tip runs and all that sort of stuff. So that's all been blown out of proportion. There's no school runs anymore and no tip visits. And I had my little habits where I was going to sandwich shop and stuff. I have my little lunch at the same place all the time. So the habit and routine has been broken. But the one thing I have found, Time, is that I've managed to maintain a stable training program. Like I say, with the same times, same things. And that's kept me really going because other than washing cars down like 5 times a week, I haven't really done anything. During the lockdown, it's pretty boring for everybody and it's for our own safety. But yeah, I've washed the cars down maybe 3-4 times a week, each car. I've been doing a little bit of gardening work and trimming the bushes and mowing the grass, that sort of stuff. I bought a tent from Asda, a 2-man tent, with intentions of sleeping in the garden in it with the kids, but it didn't last very long because my feet were poking out the edge. That's about it. I've had a few phone calls from Mr. Frank Warren, aka the Magic Man, um, to talk about like what's going on and that sort of stuff. We've had a few in-depth conversations on it all, and it's been quite interesting. And that's it, really. I've had a few interview offers, but I've had to decline them, unfortunately, because everybody wants to talk about boxing when people are dying, and I think it's disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, not really been doing much. I've not been keeping active with the media and the press and all that. I've just been keeping myself to myself, keeping my nose down, and trying to get through it and get through it positively and stay in one piece.
Have you found yourself getting in touch with people a lot more? I think a common trend around the country is people have been doing, video calls like this, and have,
Yeah.
I personally seem to be doing quizzes with friends I haven't spoken to for 10 years every 3 nights now. So it's mad that it's brought people back into your life and kind of given a bit of sort of perspective to everyone. Have
And
you
you know
found that
what?
as well?
There is a lot of positive you can take from this pandemic. Obviously, the deaths and all that, it's a really sad thing, and everyone losing loved ones and whatever's terrible. But the good thing we can take out of it is the amount of time we've got to think about our lives and think about what we want and where we want to go when the world returns back to what we think is normal. Um, I like to spend a lot of time with our friends and close people around us and loved ones and family and all. And that's been good. And like you say, I often find myself FaceTiming a lot more people than I ever would out of boredom, really. And then, but then you rekindle like things that you've not been really talking to, or people you've not been talking to, and stuff like that. And it's actually a really good thing, because I've been speaking to people I've not spoke to properly in 10 years.
Mm.
Like I had a phone call today from my uncle, and I don't think I've spoken to him for 5 years, more, and that was nice. And it's been very positive stuff, to the extent of understanding and not taking for granted things that we once did anymore. Like we're all guilty of it, aren't we? Taking stuff for granted that we get on a daily basis that we get able to do whenever we want. And now that's all been taken away from us. It's like a lifeline's been cut off, and we're all in jail, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, yeah, things aren't so easy to get anymore. So when we finally get released and we're allowed to do them all again, I think we'll appreciate everything a lot more, a lot more. But I do feel sorry for a lot of the businesses and stuff that have to close down and whatever, and all the people, all the money that everyone's lost through obviously no work and whatever, and people are struggling out there. Not everybody's in a position where they can afford to not work for a few months or whatever. And I do feel sorry for those people. I don't know what's going to happen with the economy, with me being an expert businessman at the moment. I don't know
Well,
what's
Tyson, your business hasn't been too bad the last few years, has it?
No, my business has been all right. I've done all right out of the old business. But the British economy and the world's
Mm.
economy, let's face it, has taken a real hit with this pandemic. And hopefully, the sooner the better, things start rolling again, and give people something to want to watch or whatever. I'm sick of watching Netflix and that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um,
Probably not going to change for a while either.
yeah, I was getting asked today about how would I feel about the boxing with no crowd and whatever, but I'm not really sure. I don't think any of the big fights can happen without a crowd.
Mm.
But maybe we get some small fights on and some medium-sized stuff without a crowd, and we'll see how it goes. But I think the crowd, especially with boxing, is very vital, because it's more of an event out, isn't it? It's an evening out for
Mm.
everybody. Even like with big fights and stuff, people go around other people's houses with a few tins of beer and all that. That like socializing life side of it, that'll be all stopped, and I'm not sure how it will plan out. And for me, if I was gonna do a big fight in an empty hall or in someone's front room or in a back garden or whatever, it wouldn't feel like it was a real fight. It would feel like it was a training session. So I'm not sure. I know the guys need to get paid and everybody, whatever. I'm not sure how it would all plan out. I don't think I could do it, to be fair. But
Yeah.
then I never say never. You never know. And I just feel lucky and blessed and privileged that I got my fight in before the world ended.
Well, it was like you said a minute ago. It was kind of the last thing that happened, wasn't it?
Hey, who knows? I might be in for a shot at winning Spotty this year
Well, yeah. Now I was
if they
talking
don't
to
cancel it on me.
I was talking to old Drew McIntyre the other day, WWE. Firstly, he says he's going to come on your morning workout at some point, so you've got to pester him for that. And yeah, secondly, he's obviously the first British winner of Royal Rumble and the WWE title. So
Fantastic. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. Big fan. He's absolutely in fantastic shape. Real good looking fella. He may be able to teach me a few beauty tips and a few wrestling moves. Who knows? But yeah, I did see him talking about a big British fight, and for sure, if the WWE come to the United Kingdom and they want a massive pay-per-view event, then look no further than the Gypsy King versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE belt.
there it is, the official call out. This is what we've been waiting for ages. We saw like BT gets WWE, has Tyson Fury. We're just sitting here rubbing our hands together, waiting for that magic moment.
I see BT have been trying to cause a bit of mischief lately, anyway, with old Dylan White's post. Yeah, I seen the thing where he said, "Oh, he wants to fight me, blah 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 blah, fight me, a king or a coward or whatever." But the fact of the matter is, all these people are talking about boxing, including Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua and everybody else. They're talking about, "Oh, we want to fight Tyson, this, that, and the other." Tyson or nobody can fight anybody because we're in lockdown with COVID-19 rife, killing millions of people around the world. And all these idiots can think about is wanting to fight me during lockdown. Not happening. And secondly, I've got a rematch clause with Deontay Wilder, who apparently wants 10 million to step aside, which I don't think it's true because I've not heard it from Deontay Wilder. But the fact of the matter is, I won't give him 10 quid. I'd rather punch his teeth in for a second time and then move him over that way. And then after I beat Deontay Wilder, I'm going to fight Joshua for all the belts. And after I beat Joshua, then I'll probably have a rematch with him, give him another chance to win his belts back. And then, only then, may Dylan White get a chance at fighting me. But yeah, there's no fights happening, especially with me at the moment anyway. So there's no even point trying to call me out or whatever because it's ridiculous. Absolutely pathetic.
What about your dad and Mike Tyson though?
Again, it's all pathetic because Mike Tyson can't come to England and my dad can't go to America. So that's
What do you think about all that comeback talk? Because now it's Holyfield and Mike Tyson talking about having a charity match, aren't they? Do you think that's something that should be even sanctioned, or just think it's like two fellas, just two game fighters who are doing fighting talk?
yeah, I'm not really too sure, but I did get a phone call with a chance to fight Mike Tyson. I was like, what?
What?
Yeah, I had a phone call saying, "Oh, would you like to fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition fight?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" Well, I don't think anything's materialised out of it, to be honest. So yeah, I think he's definitely serious about doing some fights or whatever. But he's fought Holyfield twice, so yeah, they're all both old now, aren't they? 59 or 57 or 55. So I think they're a bit long in the teeth. But then again, who am I to say anything? What anybody's capable of after everybody's unbelievable stories? Then I wouldn't try and kill anybody's dreams of doing anything they want. If they're both fit to fight and medically fit, then let them do what they got to do. It's their life, not mine.
You've got a new book on the way, haven't you?
I have, yes. It's due to be out in November. It's called The Furious Methods, and it's a book about mental health, fitness, and health stuff. I think it's going to be a really good book. We're writing it right now. Like the last book, I emptied everything out into it, and I've been working really hard on this as well. So it'll be a great read, and it'll be an opportunity not just to train like Tyson Fury, but it'll be everyone will be able to do the training and the tips and healthy lifestyle and manage and maintain mental health stuff as well. So I think it'd be a really good book for society.
And so it's more kind of like the one before was the Tyson getting you here. This is like Tyson now, right?
Yeah. So this is like my tips on how to overcome your mental health, not overcome it, but maintain and manage it. Tips on losing weight, tips on what to eat, tips on how to train, basically. And I've got the old movie coming out.
You got the movie? What?
Yeah, I'm in talks with Hollywood movie directors now for the Tyson Fury life story.
Oh, here he is. Few fights in Vegas. Now he's in talks with the Hollywood boys.
Yeah! I'm just thinking, they asked me, like, who would you want to play here? I said, obviously, Denzel. I've always said Denzel.
Yeah.
and everybody had a bit of a laugh about it and whatever. But we'll have to finalise who's going to be the actor.
I think just stick with Denzel.
I think so. I think he's good enough to play anybody, isn't he?
Yeah, he can do the Morecambe accent, can he?
Yes. I'm not too sure if he can do the husky voice, though. He needs a punch in the throat for that one. I'm a congealed blood clot for the last 4 years. So yeah, it's all going off at the moment. There's a lot of good things going on. I've been offered quite a few different things. I was offered a full season on a couple of well-known series. Very well known, which I can't divulge because I might just do it yet, and it will be a big surprise. Yeah, I've even been in talks with ITV for a second Gypsy King series. There's a lot of things happening, but at the moment, nothing can be thought about really seriously because nothing's happening right now. Or for the future. But then again, who knows? I might just get a fight date, go into training camp, wham bam slam. Next thing you know, I'm back home in Morecambe, sipping a beer, back to reality, sitting outside in the garden. Happy days.
What do you think's the first thing you're going to do once this is all over?
I don't know, apart from going to the tip and the gym and the school runs, then I don't really do much else anyway, do I? It's like I might go for an odd Italian meal or whatever now and again, like to San Carlos or something like that, or like an Italian restaurant or whatever. But apart from that, I don't really do a lot anyway. I find myself staying away from largely populated areas for the reasons of I don't want to be absolutely tortured by everybody. And yeah, I don't go around where there's loads of people anyway. And then I only go to the tip, basically the rubbish tip, and to the school. And maybe a meal out now and again, but that is about it really. I thought to myself the other day, what is it that I'm missing most from lockdown? And when I thought about it, my answer was school runs. I was like, what? School runs? I do miss the school run. Obviously, getting rid of the kids for like 7 hours a day or whatever is a bonus when you got 5 of them running around. Get rid of a few of them. That's all good. But yeah, it's other than the being able to do what you want when you want part of thing. Even if I don't do it, I still know I can when lockdown's off. I don't really do much else. I'm only around the house and around where I live. So yeah, who knows? I don't know what I'm going to do, but hopefully get back to reality and normality, whatever that may consist of.
With the kids being around all the time, have you had to do some of the whole homeschooling stuff?
I'm not going to lie, I haven't done any of the homeschooling stuff. I could have lied there, couldn't I? I said, yeah. But I haven't. Paris has been doing it. She's been playing the school teacher as well as the mother and everything else. So she's been doing a really good job, to be fair. She's been making sure the kids have been doing the homeschooling, homework, all that sort of stuff. Been really interesting to see, really, how everyone copes with the lockdown and how the kids have been coping and how they're really committed to doing their schoolwork when they have to and all that. It's interesting times, and I see all my neighbours out doing all the gardening work and all that. I say, I hope you're going to do that when it's all over. Yeah. Everyone's on it, aren't they? Everyone's doing DIY and gardening and planting stuff and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's give everyone a nice little break from the real world for a while, hasn't it?
I've seen you putting up photos of a couple of like cakes and souffles and stuff you've been making. So I hope you're going to be making them in your next training camp.
Well, I had a go at making a trifle and some other bits and pieces. But Paris has made quite a lot of cakes and stuff, and I've had to tell her not to make anymore, which has killed a little hobby because I find myself get so like about 8:30 or something. I think I'll have a piece of that cake watching a movie, and I'll end up eating a lot of the cake over a couple of days. I'm trying to swerve it all. Instead of eating the cake, I go for a bike ride. Oh, I'll tell you what I did. I bought a bike the other day, bicycle, like a road bike.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get and do a few miles on the bike now and again. I really enjoyed a bit of cycling. I never thought it would ever be for me, but I suppose when it's the only thing you're allowed to do, really, then you make do of it, and you become. If you do something often enough, you can fall in love with it, can't you?
Is it pretty hilly around your way?
There is quite a few hills, but I tend to just stay in the front where it's there's a 5 mile out and a 5 mile back, so it's like 10 mile bike ride. Quite easy, really, on a flat road.
Yeah, I was
So
going to say it's a glamour ride.
yeah, leisure,
You're just doing
leisure.
it to show off.
But I am thinking about doing the Lee Jog bike ride from John O'Groats to Land's End when we resume. It takes about 2 weeks, anywhere from 10 days to 2 weeks. I'm going to do that for the Mind Mental Health charity when I return.
It's Saturday night, Tyson, so I'm gonna leave you. I've had half an hour of your time, so I'm gonna leave you to avoid those cakes at all
Well,
costs.
I'm going to sit down now and I'm going to switch on the Royal Family. You know, the old TV show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like it, so I'm going to try and watch that.
It's brilliant to talk to you, and you know what with this week has just gone Mental Health Week, and how important it's all been. You know your whole story, but also in making this a big issue that people talk about. So I mean, I'll leave the last words with you. A little message for everyone about mental health and about your story, I guess.
Yeah, everybody, stay safe. Anyone struggling, like I said, with mental health earlier in the video, they need to reach out to somebody, because suffering in silence is always terrible. Been there, done that. Friends, family, loved ones, doctor, anybody's better to talk to. Your dog than to talk to nobody. Communication is the winner in all things. So, like I say, you can get help. Help is out there. All you need to do is ask for it. And guess what? It is okay to ask for help. You're not on your own. There's millions and millions of us suffering every single day. And we are a team, we are a unit, and we will move forward and we will get better. Take it easy. God bless. See you all soon. Bye bye.